30 gigabytes. Service may be slowed. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from this station's network.
Klein Tools are new at Lowe's, pros. Lowe's knows you want top brands and quality products, and Klein Tools delivers. Right now, get the Klein 3-piece ModBox mobile workstation for $319.94 and the Klein 5-piece cushion grip screwdriver set for just $34.97, both exclusively at Lowe's. Shop the largest selection of Klein tools, the highest quality tool brand at Lowe's. Because Lowe's knows tools, Lowe's knows pros.
Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's trypie.com.
Hey guys, do you know what makes Revive Men's Health Sacramento different? You. Every Revive treatment and medication is personalized just for you. Revive has the experts that guys go to when their current treatment isn't working. They have a complicated medical condition, or they're just not happy with their daily performance. Since 2011, they've helped thousands of local men suffering with the symptoms of low T and ED. Their goal is simple, to get to the bottom of your issues and fix them. Your best performance requires more than generic ED medications or a low-dose testosterone booster at a low-ball price like you find online. Revive medications are custom compounded, affordable, and guaranteed to resolve your issues. Stop dealing with the symptoms of low T or ED. Book your free T-check and exam and save $199 today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit us at revivemenshealth.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Happy Monday, I'm Simone, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. Truly so much to get to today as we lock in for Monday Night Football and postseason baseball. San Francisco 49ers looking to get back in the win column as they drop in on the Minnesota Vikings tonight. We know the 49ers will be without left tackle Trent Williams and wide receiver Deebo Samuel, but will get that incomparable CMC work in the backfield to close out Week 7.
Pressure throws to the back of the end zone. Caught by Christian McCaffrey. Touchdown! CMC!
Our pregame festivities jump off at 4:15 today, right after the Drive Guys, with kickoff going up at 5:15. And Game 6 of the NLCS popping off in a few minutes. First pitch going out at 2:07. And Rangers and Astros meet at 5:07 for Game 7 of the ALCS. I'm Simone. Those are your headlines, and welcome in to the Drive Guys.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Hey, Christian McCaffrey is playing tonight. Hear the game right here, the 49ers and Vikings. Right after the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports. Kyle Draper, Whitey Gleason. This kicks off, as you know, Kyle, a huge week for us. So we're with you till 4:30 today. Then we got the 49ers and the Vikings. Tomorrow, Kyle Draper will be on his way to Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yeah.
The NBA season tips off tomorrow, so Jerry Reynolds will be in for Kyle. Wednesday, Kyle Draper will be coming to us from Salt Lake City. You got the call Wednesday,
Delta
right?
Center, right? The old school Delta Center. The name is back. First game of the season for your Sacramento Kings. I'll be coming to you inside the arena, so I'll give you a little flavor, get you ready for the Kings basketball right here on Sactown Sports.
Yes. Thursday will be all over that game.
Yep.
And then Friday, we're going to be out at Golden One Center getting you ready as if you need help getting ready for the Kings home opener against the Warriors. So you know how I feel right now, Kyle? I feel like I'm at Disneyland and I've been waiting for, give me a ride, a really good ride, any ride.
Matterhorn.
Space Mountain.
Okay.
Oh, Matterhorn too. Matterhorn. That's the bobsled one, right?
Yeah,
That's the bobsled one.
Waiting and waiting. And now I feel like, okay, front of the line and the car that we're going to be in is coming around and it stopped and the restraint things are coming up. The people are starting to get out and it's almost time to get in and start the NBA season. And that's how I feel.
And the best part about it, it doesn't last 2 minutes. It lasts longer than 2 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because that ride, is great and everything, but then it's over. No, we got 6 months of basketball to talk, maybe even longer if the Sacramento Kings advance.
Which Disneyland ride is this season going to most be like? And that's what that may be a poll question. Maybe that's something
that's a good one.
All week. I'm not sure what the answer is.
Well,
hopefully
think about it.
It's not. It's a small world. Hopefully it's not that. Right?
That's the
it's
Warriors
a small
because they're they don't have a lot of size.
Exactly, and it's kind of boring. And no offense, but Matterhorn would be nice, man, because right from the jump you're off and running. You're going fast, twisting turns,
you're going up like the Kings are going up.
We are a stock on the way up, and so I'm excited, man. We got games tomorrow, obviously 2 Western Conference matchups, 4 heavyweights going at it. But then on Wednesday, that's what we're looking for. The Kings on the road to a tough place to play. But, man, I'm excited for this squad.
Yeah, and then before we get into any of that, we've got the 49ers and Vikings tonight. And you used a term just before we came on the air that I normally say, but I have to admit, I do see some reason to say that in some ways this is not only a very important game for the 49ers, it may be one that they have to have.
Yeah, and I don't want to say must win, but it's close to a must win. And it's not must win to win the Super Bowl or must win to win the division. I'm talking must win if you want home field advantage in the NFC. Because
it could be.
Yeah, it could be. Like, you lose this one, you got a tough Cincinnati Bengals team coming up next week. I know that game is at home, but, if you're not healthy, if Debo's not back, Trent Williams isn't back. And so you can't afford to lose 3 in a row if you're San Francisco. So if you lose tonight, then for sure, in my opinion, next week against the Bengals is a must win.
I have to admit, your team looked pretty good last night. Okay.
Don't you understand? Like, when your team wins, the birds are chirping a little louder, the music sounds a little better, the kids don't get on your nerves as much. That's how I feel right now. You're excited to actually go to work. And I thought about wearing my Eagles poncho, but I'm saving that for December 4th. I won't wear it until we beat the Niners. But I thought that was an impressive showing last night for the Philadelphia Eagles.
You said you hear the birds chirping. Are you sure it's not the officials calling another penalty on the Dolphins?
Hey, man.
They're certainly not calling any on your team.
Hey, we're a disciplined ball club. That's what I saw yesterday. I'm like, man.
0 penalties?
Because we're disciplined. The Eagles are disciplined. That's a well-coached team. That's like Bill Belichick and the Patriots during their heyday.
Grabbing the receiver's face mask.
It's a missed call. Those things happen. If you start blaming the officials for your squad losing, that's a loser's mentality, in my opinion. So are we saying, did the officials miss some calls? Yes.
Was that the reason for the game? With no penalties on one team?
I'm sure the Dolphins did some things that weren't called. But at the end of the day, did the officials have Tua throw that interception? That little lollipop that he threw up there, that Slay Jr. Did the officials help A.J. Brown carve up that Dolphins defense? Come on now.
Maybe a little bit.
All right, but at the end of the day, my squad got it done, and I was so impressed with the defense yesterday because we went into this game. Dolphins, we know they can put up points. How are they going to stop Tyreek Hill? Tyreek Hill almost stopped himself with that drop. He's a talented receiver. I thought the defensive line was tremendous. And I know the Dolphins had some injuries, obviously, on both sides of the ball. The running game was hampered with no Achan, obviously. But the Eagles' defensive line was on point last night.
Yes. Well, I know that I had predicted the Dolphins would win the game, and I was wrong. One of the reasons I did that was because of the Eagles' issues in
Injuries,
the secondary, and they certainly agree that they have problems there because today they went out.
They made a
and
move.
They picked up an All-Pro safety.
Yeah, they needed that, and the fact that they were able to do that, I forget his name. I was going to pull it up right now. As a matter of fact,
They got Kevin Byard.
Yeah, I just saw the move as I was walking in.
And they traded a fifth, and a seventh rounder or something like that for him from Tennessee.
Well, that's what happens.
Huge acquisition.
When teams are going for it, when they are, legitimate Super Bowl contenders, you see a weakness and you address it. And that's going to be huge, I think, for the Eagles. Their secondary was obviously banged up. What were they missing? Two.
They've been going through. I didn't realize Kevin Byard's a Philly native. I just saw that.
Oh, shoot. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And so, exactly. And the fact that they were banged up in the secondary yesterday, and they did a heck of a job. Let's keep it. They did
said they got so much pressure up front, it didn't matter.
Yeah, the Dolphins only scored one offensive touchdown. So to hold that offense to just 10 points, it doesn't always have to be Jalen Hurts and those guys putting up 40 or anything like that. Sometimes you can win a defensive struggle. I was encouraged by yesterday's win for the Philadelphia Eagles.
How about the 49ers tonight? Christian McCaffrey is a go. Debo is not going to play. Trent Williams, last I heard, you may have more current information. He was, I think, questionable, but trending towards not playing.
Yeah, I think doubtful.
So
doubtful
now. So are they in trouble tonight in your
I think so. I think, sure, no Justin Jefferson. We understand that. And I understand the Vikings defense isn't that great. But when you're losing your best offensive lineman, when you're losing your best receiver, arguably, Debo, and your running back isn't even 100%.
Fine.
No, he's not. Dude, he's got an oblique. One shot, and he's like, this is a
One
scary.
shot, as long as they don't have the Charger doctor, he's going to be fine.
This is a scary night, I think, for Niners fans. Niners fans, I'm telling you, then you got Cincinnati next week. I think, when you look at Minnesota, when you look at that crowd, it gets loud in that stadium. This is going to be a Brock Purdy game. Exactly. This is a Brock Purdy game. Your boy better deliver tonight because all eyes are on him.
He will.
All eyes are on him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have his binky, Debo Samuel.
How does Kirk Cousins typically play when the
lights are bright?
Yeah,
not good. Not good, but that's in the past. And he's going against Kyle Shanahan. He's going to stick it to Shanahan. You should have traded for me last year. You go out there and start Brock Purdy. You knew you needed a quarterback. You should have made a move to bring me in. And so I'm looking for the Vikings. This is a 27-24 Vikings win tonight, in my opinion.
I don't think so.
What?
We'll see.
They just lost to the Cleveland freaking Browns. You can't be optimistic about tonight's
Your
game.
team lost to the Jets last
week. And we came back and handled it.
So
and
why
I was
can't the 49ers come back?
They could, but they're banged up. They're missing Debo. No Trent Williams. Come on.
They're so
not
deep.
on the offensive line.
We'll scheme around it. We'll scheme around it. Kyle will scheme around it.
Niners fans aren't even confident tonight. If you're confident, if you're a Niners fan, that means you're being a homer. That means you're hopeful, but you can't be how can you really be confident? I'm listening to Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross and those guys this morning, and they're like, oh, it's going to be 31-16, 32-12, whatever. And I'm like, put some respect on the Minnesota Vikings.
Sorry, I don't even know who sent me this, but thank you. This is one of your guys in the secondary grabbing the face mask of a Dolphins player, throwing him down last night.
Why are you bringing up old stuff, Whitey? You're bringing up old stuff.
It was just sent to me. Thank you, whoever sent it.
You know what I mean, Simone? He bringing up old stuff. Come on.
Last night. You know what's interesting? I just read this. Maybe you know this. I didn't know this. Apparently the Vikings, and this is at least what they want everyone to believe, they were pursuing Brock Purdy. Right before the draft ended, they were in contact with him, and they wanted to sign him as an undrafted free agent. And the 49ers snatched him up. So they did. They drafted him, and he was up. Brock Purdy said, yeah, there was a couple teams that I was talking to because he figured he wasn't going to get drafted. The Vikings were one of the teams that really wanted him. And that's getting drafted by the 49ers.
Well, I'm going to keep it real with you about Brock Purdy. And I know people are going to get upset about this. And I know people are going to be like, oh, Drapes, you're hating on Brock Purdy again. Even if the Vikings were going to pick up Brock Purdy, no way in heck did they envision that he would become the guy he is today. So Shanahan drafted him, dead last in the draft a couple of years ago. There's no way he expected him to be on the roster getting starts for this team. And so Brock Purdy is like found money in your cushions. Like I said the other day, like Kobe Jones, Brock Purdy is the extra chicken McNugget. You only ordered a 6-piece, but they made a mistake and gave you 7. Yeah, that's what Brock Purdy is.
I mean, but not some credit.
But when you draft a player last, honestly, are you really thinking, you know what? He, A, is going to make the roster, and B, he's going to turn into what he is.
I understand your point, but obviously you hope so. That's why you draft the guy, and that's why you sign some guys that you don't even draft.
It's like late-round fantasy football drafts.
Yeah.
If those guys I drafted in the 11th and 12th round see the field, something went wrong with my starters.
Mm-hmm. I know we're recording this, so tomorrow we can play some of it back to you with Brock Purdy. Lights up the Vikings.
Hey, if he does, good for him. I want to see it. This is his opportunity. That's what I said. You know, Debo, Trent Williams banged up. CMC's hurting right now. And so this isn't a CMC kind of game, in my opinion. Like, he better not touch the ball 20 carries, 22 carries, 23 with the oblique injury. This is going to be on Brock Purdy and some of the other guys tonight. Maybe it's a big George Kittle night tonight for the Niners. You know, maybe it's Brandon Ayuk gets going. Maybe Elijah Mitchell. Somebody else other than CMC should have a big night tonight.
For all the focus on the 49er injuries, I think their biggest question has to do with something else on the other side of the ball from Brock Purdy, and we'll tackle that when we come right back here. Take a quick break. Drive Guys just underway on Sactown Sports.
The 82-game NBA journey begins Wednesday for the Sacramento Kings.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
The G-Man Gary Gerald has all the play-by-play Wednesday of season number 39 in Sacramento.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker.
It's the Kings and Jazz in the season opener from Utah.
He's got the three-point shot.
Wednesday at 6 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I have terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville.
Sactown Sports.
Here are the 49ers tonight against the Minnesota Vikings. Some think the 49ers are in big trouble tonight. We'll find out right here on Sactown Sports. I think the biggest issue for the Niners tonight, Kyle, in my opinion, aside from the injuries, which of course are big, and you got a kicker who's trying to prove that last week was fluke, you got a quarterback trying to bounce back. Job one for the 49ers tonight is to prevent the Vikings from running wide and setting the edge and getting around the edge of the 49ers defense, because that's what the Browns did to them last week. It's probably the key to the Browns' victory, and it's one thing the 49ers are not supposed to let happen to them. They stop the run and they run the ball. They didn't stop the run, and they better start stopping the run tonight.
Right, exactly. And I think this is, you talk about Kirk Cousins prime time. If you're the Niners, you say, Kirk Cousins, you're going to have to go out there and beat us. Kirk Cousins, without your number one wide receiver, you're going to have to throw for 300 yards. You may have to throw 45, 50 times. It's going to be critical, I think, also when you talk about the Niners' defense. Their offense has to help them. You know, one of the things that we've seen in the past with the Niners is you get off to an early start, quick start. You build that 7-0 lead, 10-0, 14-0 lead, and then bam, teams got to throw. They have to become one-dimensional. And, the question is, can Kirk Cousins beat you? That's the thing if you're the Niners tonight. You have to make Kirk Cousins beat you. And, when you look at this Vikings team, they are not a good rushing team. Like, they're near the bottom. I'm pulling the stats up right now.
They got Cam Akers and they got the other guy.
They're 30th in the National Football League in rushing yards per game. They only average about 70 to 75. And so, if you control the line of scrimmage, control Cam Akers and those guys, put the onus on Kirk Cousins, you got a shot tonight.
I think they're also a good example of the type of team you just talked about, where they tend to be playing from behind, so they got to throw.
Right, exactly. And Kirk Cousins, to me, I know everybody talks about big game Kirk Cousins when the lights are shining. He's the ultimate, to me, feast or famine. 1 minute he looks great. The next minute it's like, we got to trade this guy. He shouldn't be our starting quarterback. And so, honestly, it would not surprise me if Kirk Cousins has a big game tonight.
I've said it before, and I know it's kind of nonsensical, but I believe it. Kirk Cousins is both overrated and underrated.
Right.
Because he fluctuates.
Yeah, how do you properly rate him?
Yeah.
Like, is he a top 15 guy? Is he a 15 to 20 guy? I don't know. It's tough, but without Justin Jefferson, I can't see the Vikings offense led by Kirk Cousins, winning this game in terms of, I think Brock Purdy has to be the key. Like, the Vikings, if they turn the ball over, force turnovers, that's where I think they have the edge. That's why I say it's a Brock Purdy game. Brock Purdy has to be clean. He has to have a clean sheet. Don't give Minnesota the short field.
What do you think of the fact that Kirk Cousins apparently does not own a smartphone? He has only a flip phone.
That's not a good thing.
Really?
That's
Simone, any thoughts on that? Kirk Cousins?
It's pretty black.
Right.
Got in the middle of a snack. Sorry.
Yeah, Kirk, that is not a good thing.
He says he heard Andrew Luck say that once when Andrew Luck was playing. Andrew Luck said, I don't have a smartphone. I just have a flip phone. So I can call and be in contact with the people I need to. And then that way, all the distractions and the media and what people are saying, I don't know anything about it. So Kirk Cousins said, I only have a flip phone. He says he didn't know until recently that there were rumors that the Jets might seek him in a trade. He says, I don't need any of that. Just me and my flip phone.
Man, so he don't get videos on his phone. He probably got the old school, where you couldn't get videos or anything. And
140 characters to work with.
Right. That's about it. It takes a special person
dedicated.
Now that we're talking about phones, real quick. Does it bother you? You got an iPhone, right?
Yeah, it's update. But
you got the iPhone 3. I noticed that. Samo, you got an iPhone?
I got an iPhone.
All right.
Yes.
It bothers the heck out of me when I'm texting people and they come back green, and they got Android or something other than it's like, what do? Do you put the milk in the cereal bowl first and then the cereal? That's what kind of person you are. And so, no, that's Kirk Cousins right there.
Yeah. Oh, we'll look forward to seeing how this unfolds tonight. I think it's an easy 49er win. And if it's not, then we definitely have a lot of things to talk about tomorrow.
Easy 49er win.
Where is this team right now? And are they as good as we thought they were?
You said easy 49er win.
Yeah.
What gives you that? Because the injury situation.
I just think they're better than the Vikings.
But they were better than the Browns too, and they lost. And so this is the arrogance that I'm talking about, Whitey. It's like we're giving the Niners the benefit of the doubt, and I understand. But Minnesota, what are they? 3-3, I think they are, or something like that. I got to look up their record. They aren't necessarily a bad team. I know they're banged up and everything like that, but this is a tough road atmosphere that the Niners are going again. And to me, as an Eagles fan, and you've heard me say this the last few weeks,
they're
I'm worried.
2-4, by the way.
2-4. I'm worried about the opponent. Like a couple of weeks ago, I was worried about the Rams. I was worried about the Dolphins. And so I like to put respect on the opponent. Anything can happen. Niners fans, I'm hearing this morning, now I'm hearing you. It's like, we got this.
Well, I'm not
You're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for disappointment right here.
If I were playing in the game and I were on the 49ers, then certainly Minnesota would have a great chance to win. But my point is, if you're playing in the game, you got to respect the opponent. If you're a fan, you don't. Why do you have to respect the opponent? I just think the 49ers are a better team. Minnesota is 129 scored, 135 allowed. They're 0-3 at home. And so you ask, why do you think the 49ers win easily? That's why. You're right. The 49ers they're going to be hobbled tonight. It could make a big difference. But I just think even with the injuries, they're a much better team than the Minnesota Vikings.
You know, it's so interesting.
I don't think that's arrogance.
I'm sure Buffalo media said the same thing going into New England. This is the National Football League, Whitey.
Yeah.
Any given Sunday, or in this case, any given Monday night, anything can happen. We just saw Buffalo lose to the Patriots yesterday. We just saw Detroit get mollywopped on the road against Baltimore. Like, every game in the NFL is a difficult game. And so I don't think, I understand that the talent gap and all that, but winning a football game, especially on the road, is difficult, man.
Yeah.
And so I got this game a lot closer than you do.
By the way, apology accepted. No worries. Because I know a few weeks ago when I said Brock Purdy's better than Josh Allen, and you kind of did the whole hyena thing laughing. It's okay. All right.
He's playing better than Josh Allen. He is playing. There's a difference. If you were to do the draft right now, out of all the starting quarterbacks, trust me, Josh Allen would still be ahead of Brock Purdy.
Yes, it looked like
he was awful. That was bad. And not only Josh Allen, I could throw my guy Jalen Hurts in there too. The interceptions, the fumble that he had.
Be a little hurt.
Yeah, he's banged up.
Through something.
Yeah. I think he's questionable already for this week. So he's dealing with something. And, I watch him scrambling. He's not moving as fast. And so clearly he's dealing with something. And no, give Brock credit, man. Like I said, he's playing better right now than Josh Allen.
For the first time in his young NFL career, Brock Purdy's on the spot tonight.
He is. I think
how
so.
He responds, obviously.
You know what? Because we've talked about the weapons. Now you're missing, your offensive lineman. You're missing one of your best wide receivers.
Ronnie Bell is a player.
Okay, you don't even. You see that look?
Juwan Jennings.
You see that?
Look out.
Ooh.
Ray Machado. You got depth at that spot.
I know it's Halloween, it's spooky season, but those guys ain't scaring me. I'm telling you now, if I'm Minnesota, those guys aren't scaring me. And so now you key on CMC.
Yeah.
You make life a little difficult on CMC.
And you pointed this out yourself. I mean, Minnesota's missing one of their best players.
Yeah.
So they're not fully healthy either.
I just think it's going to be a good game, man.
I hope so.
I just think, it's going to be a lot closer than people think. Like I said, you're saying it's, going to be a blowout or not going to be a close game.
I think it's an easy 49er win.
Give me a score.
31. I'll say 31-24, which I know is close. But
that's one touchdown, Whitey.
But, if it's 31-10 and then
they get some late scores to make it more respectable.
31-21. Okay. Is that allowed?
Okay. Yeah, 31. Okay. What's the line tonight? Do you know? I may have to look it up.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure it's moved somewhat.
Yeah.
While you're looking that up, I'm just wondering here what you think of the rest of the NFC, the rest of the NFL races. How do they
7.9er favorite? Okay.
Yeah. How do the NFL races look different? Would you agree with this? Just quick synopsis here, Kyle. Think the Bills and the Chargers have issues. The Lions, too, all of a sudden. The Ravens serve notice. And I think we got to ask how good Cleveland is. And you've already been asking this question, how good Seattle is.
Yeah, I'll start, right off the top with what you talked about. Buffalo, there's clearly some issues there, and you look at their record 4-3, 1-2 on the road, and they look bad yesterday. Really, that game wasn't as close as the final score. Buffalo made some plays late, took the lead, and then allowed Mac Jones to march down the field. Josh Allen just is a turnover machine right now. And so they're dealing with some issues, Baltimore, to me, I'm going to give them some credit. I've been hard on them all season long. They're 5-2.
I think that was warranted.
Yeah. They hadn't been playing well, right? Even though they, were 4-2 going into this week, they hadn't been playing well. The receivers were dropping a lot of balls. Lamar Jackson didn't look great. And the beatdown they put on the Lions yesterday, that is a statement kind of win, I think. And then you look at that division, Pittsburgh, sure, they're 4-2. I'm still not, I don't believe in Pittsburgh. I don't believe they're a contender. Cincinnati, now you're looking at Cincinnati, you're a game and a half back right now. And you could still be in the mix. So I think Baltimore is a team that, despite not playing well, that the fact that they're sitting at 5-2, that scares me if I'm an AFC team.
Yeah, circling back for a moment to the Patriots, I know that we've been talking a lot about Belichick and his future there. Does he have a future? And you had been saying you had a hard time believing that the Patriots would do anything with him. it came out that apparently over the summer before the season started, he had very quietly signed an extension. Now, that doesn't mean that they wouldn't let him go, but he actually just recently signed an extension. So, and that was his, 300th win yesterday?
300th win, yeah.
I think he's going to be around at least for the rest of the year.
I thought somebody said that.
You did. I gave you credit. How many flowers do you want?
I want them all, baby. I want them all.
Yeah.
Because when the Niners win by a landslide tonight, you're going to be the first one. Where's Drapes at? Where's Drapes at?
I'm not like that. You know that. Coming up, we continue our look across the NFL yesterday. The NFL trend that the league didn't want you to notice. We've noticed. We'll break that down next year on the Drive Guys Sactown Sports.
The 82-game NBA journey begins Wednesday for the Sacramento Kings.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
But G-Man Gary Gerald has all the play-by-play Wednesday of season number 39 in Sacramento.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker.
It's the Kings and Jazz in the season opener from Utah.
He's got the three-point shot.
Wednesday at 6 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
When every shot counts, the professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio encourage you to try the brand new Titleist T-Series irons. Irons designed to enhance your play through control, distance, flight, forgiveness, looks, sound, and feel. With 4 T-Series models, the fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
Your Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday night against the Idaho State Bengals. It is homecoming at Sac State, so arrive early and enjoy the homecoming festivities. Kickoff is set for 6 p.m., and let's pack Hornet Stadium as the top-ranked Hornets compete for a Big Sky championship. Stick around after the game for post-game fireworks. Get your tickets now to secure your spot at Hornet Stadium for this Big Sky showdown. You can get your tickets at hornetsports.com. Stingers up.
Thunder, feel the thunder. It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
It's a new era in entertainment. Experience legendary performers like never before. All new and all incredible. This is the venue. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Are you a sports memorabilia collector? Then this is the show for you. Emil Fergoso here to introduce the True Sports Card Show, where every card tells a story and every piece of memorabilia has a history. Join industry expert Imran Polati and myself every week as we dive deep into the world of sports cards, bring you the latest trends, exclusive interviews, and the hottest tips for collectors. Tune in every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11 and experience the thrill of the chase. The True Sports Card Show, brought to you by True Sports Cards and Collectibles on Sactown Sports.
Hagen Oaks wants you to know about the exciting new T-Series irons from Titleist, offering effortless speed, exceptional feel, and precise control. Working with tour pros and dedicated amateurs, Titleist T-Series are available in 4 different models. The fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location, is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out. Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. Happy Monday, I'm Simone, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. Truly so much to get to today as we lock in for Monday Night Football and postseason baseball. San Francisco 49ers looking to get back in the win column as they drop in on the Minnesota Vikings tonight. We know the 49ers will be without left tackle Trent Williams and wide receiver Deebo Samuel, but will get that incomparable CMC work in the backfield to close out Week 7.
Crusher throws to the back of the end zone. Caught by Christian McCaffrey. Touchdown! CMC!
Our pregame festivities jump off at 4:15 today, right after the Drive Guys, with kickoff going up at 5:15. And Game 6 of the NLCS underway. Phillies and Diamondbacks still scoreless and going into the top of the second. It all does come down to Game 7 for the Texas foes. Rangers and Astros meet at 5:07 with the victor heading into the World Series. I'm Simone. Those are your headlines. Let's get back to more Drive Guys.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
This is really kind of touching. Kyle Draper has so many fans who love him. Some of them don't see this game tonight the way he does, so they're trying to help him. You have V Hill 1. Drapes, let it go. You really want to die on this hill? Pike 916. Drapes, have you ever seen Cousins play well under the lights? Name one time. So we got a lot of back and forth there. Tall Chinese guy says 34-17.
Okay.
49ers absolutely not, says 21-17 Minnesota.
Exactly.
And so that has sparked a lot of back and forth, as you can imagine.
Let me read, because absolutely not. You're my guy. I see what you're saying. Somebody said Minnesota scored 19 against Chicago. Do you think Chicago defense is better than San Fran? And then my guy absolutely not says and Cleveland didn't have their starting QB and still managed to beat San Francisco. It's not easy to win in the NFL, especially on the road. And after losing last week, I think Brock is going to be in a slump and is going to have to learn how to lose. So that's what I said earlier. This is a big week, I think, for Brock.
No
this
question.
has to be a Brock Purdy game, in my opinion.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Let's talk to TC on Sactown Sports. Thanks for hanging, TC. What's up? Happy Monday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Happy Monday. Yes, sir. What's up, Whitey? What's up, Drake?
What's up, TC?
Hey, look. Hey, look. We're going to keep it simple. We just got a few points. This is a big game for Brock and for Shanahan. But Whitey, for about last week when I called in, look, bro, I am a diehard Niner fan. But you know what, bro? I'm past the whole faithful kumbaya BS. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
If you're saying, yeah, look, if you're the real deal, Kyle, you're a genius, then win it all, bro. Simple as that. And yes, this is a big game for Brock. It's either going to be it's either going to tell if he's an average quarterback or if he's up on his way to be elite. Simple as that. And if Kyle gets beat by the guy he's been wanting, Kirk Cousins, that tells you a lot, bro. Simple as that. That's all it is. That's all I got. Oh, one more thing. Hold on, Simone. The Kings and Mike, we're going to be ready, bro. Don't let that whole confusion about Kevin Huerter, who's starting, who's not. The guys are going to be ready, and Mike is going to put out the person who's trying to play defense. I don't care if you can shoot lights out. Can you shoot lights out and stop somebody? I'm with that.
All right.
Appreciate that, TC.
Thank you, TC. Bringing the truth, as always. How about Eric, Sactown Sports? E, what's up? Thanks for hanging on. What can we do for you?
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Kyle's got a lot of fans out there. I was at Summer League this year walking through the Wayne Casino wearing my purple Sacramento, and Kyle instantly saw me. I saw him. We locked eyes. It was great. I got to side with Kyle again here. That was one of the worst predictions for the game I've ever heard. You're saying to me, easy 49ers victory. And then I heard 31. I'm like, oh, yeah, 31-7 or 31-10. And then you come at me with 24 points. Did you know the Niners have only allowed over 20 points once this entire season, and not once?
What is your prediction, Eric? I think we lost Eric.
Eric.
I apologize.
He was
Eric,
coming with that heat.
We lost you.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
He's back. What is your score, Eric?
Yeah, I'm back. Okay. Yeah, I'm here. So I don't know how you thought they're going to have their highest output of the season against the 49ers defense without their number one receiver.
What do you have a prediction for the game?
Yeah, I didn't realize when I woke up this morning. I saw the -7. I thought the game was in San Francisco or Santa Clara. So when I found out it was in Minnesota, I did a teaser. I teased it up to Vikings +14 and the under. So I think I'm getting +14 on the Vikings. I'm feeling really good about it because the Niners
14
even with McCaffrey.
Who's giving you that?
Over 2 touchdowns.
All right, Eric.
Thank you. My 14. Gosh, 14.
Hey, he didn't like my prediction, but at least I knew where the game was. Thank you, Eric. And I amended it to 31-21. So that
31-21.
Yeah, which would be great for him if he's got, obviously, the Vikings and 14.
You know, I know they're without Justin Jefferson, but Jordan Addison is a stud.
Yeah?
He's a stud wide receiver. And, you know, I just think, you know, like I said, this is a Brock Purdy game. You know, he can't turn the ball over. He can't have 2 picks. He
doesn't have picks.
Well, he had one last week. What are you talking about, Whitey? That's what exactly.
That's one all year.
And I'm saying it's on his shoulders because he's had his binkies. He had CMC. He had Debo. He had Ayuk. No Debo tonight. You know, a banged up CMC.
Jalen Hurts have binkies?
Yeah, he does.
So what's the
and
point?
He turns the ball over too, like you know.
He turns it over way more.
He turns it way over. You know, I just think you know what this is a Brock Purdy game. This may be one of those games where he has to throw 250, 275, 300 because I don't know how effective CMC is going to be tonight with the injury.
Well, if he has to throw for 275, that means they're losing. Because they don't throw if they're, you know, if they're not behind.
But that's what I'm saying. With CMC hurt, how much is the running game? That don't mean that. You got faith we're going to see a normal CMC game tonight?
Oh, yeah. The good Lord gave you 2 obliques.
Is that?
You just use the other one.
Optimistic
Anybody knows
Niners
that.
fan again. Oh, my God. Everything comes up sunshine and rainbows when it comes to the San Francisco 40. How about Jake Moody? He's going to be great tonight, right? I'm sure he is. You got 100% faith in him tonight.
He better be. What do I know? All I know is that when he was at Michigan, he was terrible on the road.
And
I mean, not
this
good.
game is on the road.
Yeah. I was on that bandwagon. I abandoned that. I got off at the first stop. So I was crushed by what he did to me last week. But no, the thing is, he's got to show that he's the guy they thought he was. But that's a tough situation for them, very tough. If he doesn't, because they can't just say, "Oh, well, that didn't work. Where's Robbie Gould?" You know, they can't. They're committed to him,
right.
Financially,
He's the guy.
long term, and he's our guy.
3rd round pick. You can't, you know, all of a sudden, you know, bring in Robbie Gould or, you know, and you know, when you look at the quarterback position and the kicking position, those are the biggest question marks surrounding this team. And so that's why I worry if you're Kyle Shanahan, you're entrusting your Super Bowl hopes on a young quarterback and a young kicker.
TCG says Kyle Drapes. You better admit, he said Drapes. You better admit the Niners are best in the league tomorrow after they beat the Vikings.
If the Niners lose,
happen.
Can you admit the Eagles are the best team? We woke up today in the NFC. We woke up today with the Eagles, the best team in the NFC.
Best record.
Like you said. With power rankings, we don't need it.
Well,
the standings, the standings are the power rankings.
Yeah,
exactly.
The 49ers can tie them.
So technically, I'm right.
We'll have the best record. Yeah, they have right now. They do. There's no question.
Whitey, you're killing me, man. Give my squad some credit. That win last night was the best win out of the Niners and the Eagles. The Niners don't have a great win like that this season. Niners been beating up on cupcakes.
Well, they just destroy people. They just humiliate teams. You're right. They don't have a signature win.
They don't have that signature win.
Have they played anybody? No, that's not
right.
That's not their fault.
Exactly.
Yeah. They also don't have as embarrassing a loss as the Eagles do, losing to
they
the
lost
Jets.
to the Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns
PJ
have a
Walker.
Really great defense.
PJ Walker, it might not win a game the rest of the season.
Zach Wilson's on the phone. By the way, scoring around the NFL is down. Have you noticed? Look at some of the scores yesterday. You don't need me to run them down for you, but 16-13, 14-7, 19-17, 20-10. 454 offensive touchdowns so far. That ranks since 2000. That's 15th. And 135 fewer than the all-time high. 275 touchdown passes so far this year. That's 17th most since 2000. 99 fewer than the high, which was set in 2018. So the NFL last week released a bunch of stats showing that, completion percentages are up. But really, the league doesn't want you to notice. But a lot of teams are having a lot of trouble scoring this year.
Why do you think that is? Is it the quarterback play? Is it defenses have figured things out?
I do think a lot of it has to do with the guys who are playing quarterback and guys who are not playing quarterback anymore, who were just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and I also think quarterbacks have regressed to an extent. Look at Josh Allen turning the ball over. Look at Jalen Hurts, already with more turnovers this season than he had all of last season. And so I just think the quarterback position, I don't know if it's because of injuries to wideouts and running backs or what have you, but guys aren't playing at give me quarterbacks that are playing at a high elite level right now. Yeah, Mahomes, I'll even throw in Brock Purdy. Forget about last week. I'll give Brock Purdy some love, but there aren't a whole lot of quarterbacks. It's true. Herbert's struggling out there. She just
passed out in there when you said something nice about Brock Purdy. Simone just
I'm objective. I'm unbiased, unlike everybody else in this room.
We're gonna bounce back over to the NBA when we come back. One thing the Kings did this preseason that they cannot do in the regular season. And how about those new City Edition unis? Next, Kyle Draper, Whitey Gleason, Sactown Sports.
Will Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass go all the way this season?
Could the Niners win their first Super Bowl since 1995?
Join us throughout the season to hear all the games and all the analysis on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Ready for a sizzling football season? Take your game day parties to the next level with Napoleon Prestige Grills from Green Acres Nursery and Supply. Fire up the grill and score big with mouthwatering burgers, juicy steaks, and finger-licking wings. Napoleon Prestige Grills bring the heat and come complete with a lifetime warranty. Get your ultimate game day companion today. Visit your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply and elevate your tailgate experience with Napoleon Prestige Grills. Green Acres Nursery and Supply, your one-stop shop for grilling greatness this football season. Visit idategreenacres.com for the store near you. Game on.
For a business to thrive, there needs to be a constant stream of new customers. This happens through strong lead generation. Did you know that lead generation is one of the most important tools of any marketing campaign? Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products and services to them. To get started today, contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results today.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Number one claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own one report.
Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and I recognize, just like my friends at American Energy Heat and Air, that your time is important. And that's why shopping for a new air conditioner is now easier with American Energy Heat and Air's online quoting tool. All you have to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote right now. It'll help you determine what system you're going to need to get. It'll provide the best pricing options, all from the comfort of your home without having to have somebody come to your home. You know how annoying that is? They come in and everybody there is so sweet and nice, but how much better is it to be able to get it on demand? Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. Or if you want to give them a call and talk through what your needs are, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for all your favorite models at low prices and payments, plus low finance rates and zero down deals with approved credit. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at Fire Wings with some bullet points for you to remember so you can be a professional Fire Wing eater. Like Wings Day Wednesday, 88-cent wings each and every Wednesday. 3 flavor lineup includes 7 classic wing flavors, 7 dry rub wing flavors, 7 fusion wing flavors. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Go to firewings.com or download the app, find a location near you, order online, earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
I'll tell you what, this is not good news for the 49ers. May not be bad news, but it's not good news. The Philadelphia Eagles, they've got some issues in the secondary. They acquired Kevin Byard in a trade with the Titans. Kevin Byard was named first-team All-Pro in 2017 and 2021. Finished the 22 season with 108 tackles and 4 interceptions. He has never missed a game in 8 seasons with the Titans. And all the Eagles had to give up was safety Terrell Edmonds plus a 2024 5th-round pick and a 6th-round pick, also 2024. So that's a great trade for the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, great. Good for them.
You like that? Look,
that's a great trade. There's no way around that.
Okay, just you saying that with such disdain, such disgust, like throwing your pen around and everything.
Yeah, because it doesn't help the 49ers.
I'm reading the article on NFL.com about the trade, and it says Philly swooped in, adding a 2-time first-team All-Pro, former interceptions leader.
Philly native.
It's a coup for the Eagles.
It is. It is. There's no way around that.
Rich get richer, my boy.
Yeah.
Rich get
so we'll
richer.
see if the 49ers feel the need to counter before the deadline on Halloween. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We said we're going to bounce over to the NBA, but first, let's go to the phones. Bobby has been on hold. Bobby, you're on with the Drive Guys. What can we do for you?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
Bobby, what's up?
So Drake, first off, I got to say before I say this, your content is great for the show because you add such a good East Coast dynamic to the show. But I do got to say, after observing some of your takes for a while, and the last one was possibly the most out there, which how can you say the Eagles' victory last night was any better than the Niners' blowout of the Cowboys?
The Cowboys are a joke.
There because
The Cowboys are weak. The Cowboys are front runners. They're paper tigers. Nobody really considers the Cowboys a contender in the NFL.
4-2.
It doesn't throw the record out. Who have they beaten? Look at the Cowboys' wins this season.
You said the Vikings were great. They're 2-4.
I never said the Vikings were great.
Handled the Dolphins though. That did happen before you guys played them. Before last night, you guys did not look elite offensively.
So you don't think? So hold up. You don't think the Dolphins are better than the Cowboys? You don't think the Dolphins are better than the Cowboys?
I don't think they're much. I'm just saying, let's not act like they're much better. They got smashed by the Bills, annihilated by the Bills. And then until last night, you guys offensively did not look elite until last night. And you guys played great last night. But before that, you guys looked like maybe the 3rd best team in the NFC. And you guys are good, but you missed Steichen as your OC.
No, it's going. But a new OC takes time, though, right? And Jalen Hurts is banged up, and so you're right. Last night was the first time I thought Hurts used all his weapons. You got Devontae Smith in the mix.
I think the new OC is a genius. Everybody just huddle up and we'll just push the guy with the ball for 2 yards. Brilliant.
I thought that was a great win.
This is the thing too. What is your deal with Purdy too? Because I wanted to hate on him at first, but after watching now, Purdy's legit. Let's just stop.
It's no what's your deal with Purdy and the hate. My issue with Brock Purdy has nothing to do with Brock Purdy. It has to do with all these Niners fans putting them in the same category as Joe Montana and Steve Young. Pump the brakes.
Yeah,
That's all I've been saying. Those guys earn their reputations when it mattered most in the playoffs and Super Bowls. That's all I've been saying from day one. And so all this worshiping of Brock Purdy, I'm like, hold up, calm down. Let's see the guy when it matters the most. That's my take.
No, that's fair.
Thank you, Bobby. It's great to hear from you.
Guys.
And I apologize to you, Bobby, because, I had forgotten when we said, I said 49ers don't have a signature win. They did. That was win over the Cowboys. Was
that's a signature win. That's their
signature win of this year. That's their signature win. And I could also point out when you say all I've ever said about Brock Purdy is that fans are going overboard about him. That's not actually true, but we'll just what you've said more than that, but we'll just move on. We'll just allow that because everybody's in a nice place now.
All right, we're good now.
The chat, people are going at each other.
I'm shutting down the chat right now, man, because this chat is just too much for me. I see them out there, all those YouTubers on our chat out there.
As we said, it's a huge week for the show. Thanks for being part of it with us here. Tomorrow, Kyle's going to be in Utah, on his way to Utah, and then Jerry Reynolds will be in. Wednesday, Kyle's going to be coming to us from Utah where he's got the call for the Kings opener. So we got the NBA opening tomorrow, the Kings opening Wednesday, Friday. We got the home opener. Big week. So how did FanFest go?
FanFest was phenomenal. It was great. Just the energy, several thousand, I think it was like 5 or 6 or 7,000, something like that. And it was great to see the players. The players get it for the most part. The way they interact with fans, it's not about, going through the drills and skills competition and all that. Like De'Aaron Fox spent so much time signing autographs for fans in the front rows, first couple of rows. It just was, you just feel the energy and the love between the players and the fan base. It was tremendous.
Well, as your cohort, Mark Jones told us on Media Day, it's genuine here, the connection between the fans and the players. In some places, to a degree, it's somewhat manufactured. That's the nature of pro sports, but it's very genuine here. So it's really a privilege to be even a small part of that. How about the new City Edition uniforms unveiled? What did you
I
think?
love the Kings City Edition uniform. Somebody did a poll on Twitter, did a ranking of them and had the Kings, I believe, as the best City Edition uniform out there. It's sort of a throwback to the Royals days, and I love the color scheme.
I don't know what you call it. It's like a ribbon down the side.
Ribbon
Kings
down
vertical.
the side. Yeah, exactly. And so I love it, man. I can't wait to get one for my son and daughter. They're going to be rocking them, I'm sure, during the season. I liked it. But some people say, get rid of the City Edition uniforms. Like, can we get back to traditional, road colored home whites, just 2 uniforms, because it's just every year there's a new one, a new one.
Yeah, I understand that. I was talking to my sister-in-law yesterday, was saying sometimes now teams have jerseys and they're not even the team colors.
Right.
Yeah, and I understand that. But I like these uniforms. I want to see the back. And I don't know if that matters, but the Kings, way back when, the Kings were one of the first, if not the first teams in Kansas City to have the name underneath the number, which was kind of weird.
Yeah. Not a fan of that. Not a fan of that.
I wanted to see if it was really they're going to throw it back that far. But I like the homage to the history of the franchise since they're in their 100th year.
Yeah. 100 years of Kings, Royals basketball. And the excitement for this team, this rivals, and you were around, does this rival 2001, 2002, do you think? Just the excitement? It's for the first time since then, obviously, a team and a franchise and a fan base is this excited.
In some ways it rivals it, but in some ways it's different yet because it's not where it got to yet. It's just starting. It's very exciting, but that started this way in 99. And then, within a couple of years, like, wow, this team is a legitimate NBA powerhouse. So hopefully we're on our way to that. But it seems like we're in a different point of the story
arc.
If you will.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully the arc goes even higher.
Right.
That's a tall order, obviously.
Yeah, and I would imagine, how we are right now hopefully won't compare to how we are come April and, hopefully May, like the level of excitement and just how crazy this city is going to be. But it all starts on Wednesday, man. I can't wait.
Real quick, one thing the Kings, I was looking at some numbers. I know you look at numbers all the time. One thing that explained partly why the Kings struggled so much in the preseason, they're a good three-point shooting team. They shot 31% for the preseason, which was 26th. And you can expect that's not going to continue. I think it was Herter and the Zankov and one other guy, like Monk. They were under 20%.
Yeah.
So that's probably not going to happen. But that's one reason why they struggled so much.
Yeah, and that's the thing, regarding Kevin Herter. It's like everybody wants to write him off, but historically, he's proven to be a pretty good three-point shooter. And so you got to imagine eventually he'll break out of that slump.
Yeah, when he comes off the bench behind Colby Jones, which would be terrific.
Boom, boom, boom. Nice.
You are Mr. Colby Jones.
Yeah, he's still my guy.
Friday.
I love Colby Jones. I don't hate anybody. Come on, don't try and paint me as an anti-Colby Jones. Colby Jones is my guy. I like Kevin Herter. I just think, and I was driving in and I was thinking this, Whitey, there's no way Mike Brown is going to let 12 games dictate who he starts. 7 in the playoffs, 5 in preseason. Kevin Herter has earned way more longer leash than that, in my opinion.
The only way Kyle Draper would ever say anything remotely negative about Kevin Herter is if Kevin Herter said something nice about Brock Purdy. When we come back, the good, the bad, the ugly of the 49ers injury situation with the Vikings coming up tonight. That's next with The Drive, guys.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
If you're a business owner, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton invites you to take advantage of a 4.9% APR for up to 36 months on select 2022 and 2023 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter vans. And since new Sprinters qualify for the generous Section 179 tax deduction for business vehicles, you can save thousands. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, sales, service, and a dedicated commercial vehicle department to help your company with any job. See our inventory at mbofstockton.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
One of the things with running is I want to enjoy the run, but I never made it very far because the arches on my feet just killed me. So when I got to the end of my rope and I said, I have to do something to get rid of the pain, and a couple people recommended the Good Feet store to me. I loved how I could go in and get a free personalized arch support fitting. They put that time, that work, that effort into helping you find the right arch supports. And you can walk around the store with these in your shoes and try them out before you purchase them. So after I got my arch supports, the arches on my feet stopped hurting and the pain instantly, literally instantly went away. So if you have pain, go. Find a Good Feet store and go. There is an answer. Find the simple solution that will get rid of your pain. I'm Rondi, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store. Knee, hip,
foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Happy Monday, I'm Simone, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. Truly so much to get to today as we lock in for Monday Night Football and postseason baseball. San Francisco 49ers looking to get back in the win column as they drop in on the Minnesota Vikings tonight. We know the 49ers will be without left tackle Trent Williams and wide receiver Deebo Samuel, but will get that incomparable CMC work in the backfield to close out Week 7.
Pressure throws to the back of the end zone. Caught by Christian McCaffrey. Touchdown! CMC!
Our pregame festivities jump off at 4:15 today, right after the drive, guys, with kickoff going up at 5:15. And Game 6 of the NLCS underway. Diamondbacks strike first. They're up 3-1 over the Phillies, still bottom of the second. And it all comes down to Game 7 for the Texas foes. Rangers and Astros meet at 5:07, with the victor heading to the World Series. I'm Simone. Those are your headlines. Let's get back to more drive, guys.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
Yeah, so 49ers and Vikings tonight. NBA season tipping off tomorrow. We're on the verge of another World Series when it rains, it pours. And speaking of Kyle Draper, did you get a deluge where you were yesterday?
Man, don't even get me started on that, Whitey. I'm still trying to wring myself out. My son and I were golfing yesterday, actually, at Antelope Greens. And,
I love Antelope Greens.
Do you really?
Yes.
You like that?
Yes.
I don't know, man. I might not go back anymore.
It's an executive course.
It's an executive tour. It's not bad. You work on your short game.
Yes.
A couple of holes where you can hit the driver. But we were out there, and we got through 4 holes, and then the sky just opened up and poured on us. And I don't know. I was kind of in my feelings yesterday because, I took the cart back and everything, walked through the clubhouse. I'm like, yo, do you guys give rain checks? Some courses do. He's like, nope. He's like, you assume the risk when you come out here. I said, well, what if the radar doesn't even show? And then all of a sudden he's like, nope. And so that just the tone of it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I'm not sure if
You expect the guy's Dirk Verdorn or something there? They're just running
I'm just saying.
Guy. He's
I'm just saying. Just the tone was off to me. Like it just was not a, no, man, I wish we could, but we just don't do it. It could have been like that. He's like, no. It was just, he was kind of short with me. And I'm not a short guy, but I will say this. And I'm about to pull back the curtain here.
Uh-oh.
And I probably should not say this, but I will.
Uh-oh.
Yesterday was a bad day for me, man.
Why?
I played basketball in the morning.
Yeah.
And when I play basketball, I'm like, and I asked my son this when we were driving home, and this will tell you what kind of basketball player I am. I'm like, Nick, was I more Marcus Smart or Dylan Brooks during the game? And he's like, oh, Dad, you were definitely Dylan Brooks in this one. I was like, oh, no. So I might have been a little too juiced up, amped up. And so then I did that. Then I went to golf and got rained on. So I was already in the mood, man. I was already in my feelings about that. So yesterday was a bad day in terms of Draper on athletic venues, courts, greens, whatever you want to call it. I was on one yesterday, man. I admit it.
Were you playing basketball with guys that you play with?
Yeah, so it's a Sunday morning Lifetime League group in Folsom, and I don't go often. I decided to go this time, and let me tell you where I got in trouble. So it's a tight game. 10-10. Game goes to 12.
Ones and twos?
Ones and twos. You know how you check the ball up top?
Yeah.
Well, I was acting like it was Game 7 of the finals, and they were inbounding the ball, so I'm like playing defense, trying to stop the guy from passing it in, make it life a little difficult. And he got mad at me for that. And I'm like, hold up, the line's right here. As long as I'm behind the line, I could do this. So I don't think they were ready for my level of intensity. Like, I'm an intense competitor on the basketball court. These guys are just out there trying to have fun. I'm actually trying to win the game.
Did you win?
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, come on. Get out way.
Did you let them know that you were happy you won?
No, I didn't have to. You know, when somebody you tell them hey, when you beat somebody, you don't have to talk.
Okay.
You let the game, the scoreboard do the talking. And so trust me.
You got an adventurous day.
Yeah, it was rough.
Got rained on a little bit out there on Antelope.
And then dude, put down the rundown for a second. Why are you trying to get back on track here? So then I got rained on. I go see my guys at Hagen Oaks, and I'm like, I got to buy a whole new outfit. So I buy some Travis Miller, Travis Matthews shirt, cost a grip, bought some Adidas pants. I'm looking sharp. So I got to go to Stockton to go to my daughter's cheerleading competition, but I'm starving. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop and get me some pizza.
Are you wearing your golf clothes?
Yes. Yes. But what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Travis Matthews is a high-end brand.
Right in my
so
mind.
I stop and get some pizza at the casino in Elk Grove just because I didn't want McDonald's. And sure enough, that pizza was so greasy. Guess what happened?
You spilled it on
Yes!
Oh.
It dripped or you dropped it? It dripped
It dripped, dude. And so my golf pants got ruined, man. I'm so upset. I went home. I put the stain stick on them. I washed them twice, and the stain is still there. So it was a bad day yesterday. And my daughter's team didn't even win the competition. It was awful.
Other than that, if I'm being frank here, it sounds like a lot of these are things that were avoidable mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
In hindsight, you know, but in the moment, everything. But my Eagles won, so that made me happy.
Yeah. How'd you do on the really, 3 or 4? There's a hole there that's like 50 yards or something, and it's downhill.
Oh, yeah, that little short one. I think,
like half pitching.
And you can't go long on it either. It can go long. You're in the woods there. I think I got a 4. I bogeyed that one.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I love that
I landed short in the bunker, but because of the rain, it was wet. I pulled it back. But, finished with a bogey. It was all right. Antelope Greens is a good course.
It is.
Especially you work
have a
on your
lot of
short
time.
game.
Yeah. A ton of time. I love Antelope Greens. Well, okay. So you did get rained on. Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough.
But it sounds like you're all over that.
Yeah. You know what? I woke up this morning. I looked at the pants and I said, you know what? They're just pants, Kyle. It's okay. But the shirt was fine. Yeah. I paid a lot for those pants.
Where's the stain? I mean, is it like
no, it's
you can
like
get away with it?
It's you can't get away with it. You know what? I thought about still wearing it though. Like, you know what? It's golf. Who cares? Like, but those are nice pants, man.
That's good.
Shout out to Hagen Oaks. Love that place.
That superstore is seriously, that's one of the great golf stores in the country.
They have everything in there. It's so massive. All the clothes, all the clubs, all the balls, Then you could go test out clubs as well. That's a great place.
Have you ever done a putting green there? They have a putting course.
Yeah, they got the putting course. That's free?
Free.
I never knew
free.
it.
I was just out there a couple weekends ago.
I never knew that. I see. I walk past it all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was free.
Anytime. It used to be you had to get a bucket of balls to play, and now it's like, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great bargain. It's a great course, too. All right. Tonight.
All right. Back to the game.
Now we got an idea where you're coming from here.
Yeah. Now you see why I'm so fired up.
The good, the bad, the ugly, the 49ers injury situation tonight. And this is why Kyle says, right? I don't want to put words in your mouth. This is why you think 49ers are in big trouble.
Right. You did put words in my mouth. This game is going to be more difficult than, it's going to be an easy win. I think this is almost a trap game. You got Bengals waiting next week as well. This is going to be.
You can't have double trap games.
Yes, you can.
They just had a trap game.
Why was last week a trap game? You're not looking ahead to Minnesota.
Because you were just coming off of the win over the Cowboys.
That's a trap, and now you're looking ahead to
Bengals.
Dude, who's on first here, man? I'm in the Matrix right now.
I mean, I guess maybe, but the Bengals aren't.
Joe
Really having that great of a
Burrow?
year.
Come on.
Yeah. The good is CMC will play tonight. At least he's going to play, and I know you say that might not be good. It's good that he's playing. Trent Williams might play. It looks like he's trending towards not playing.
Yeah.
The latest information would suggest he's not playing. Dre Greenlaw might play. They really missed Dre Greenlaw last week.
Yes.
The bad news, of course, CMC probably won't be 100%. Williams' absence. If he doesn't play, Trent Williams' absent, troublesome against a Vikings team that blitzes like crazy.
Yep.
Highest blitz rate in the National Football League. And then, of course, the ugly is Debo's out at least 2 games, not just tonight, but next week with a hairline fracture in his shoulder. So that's in a nutshell what the 49ers are looking at injury-wise.
Let me ask you that, because you mentioned the Vikings and how much they blitz. When we were talking about this earlier this week or last week, that was a good thing because Brock Purdy handles the blitz extremely well. Now without Trent Williams, does that change your thinking on that? Could that be an issue tonight?
The funny thing about that is last week, and I'm not dodging your question, but last week, Brock Purdy had the worst game of his career, right? The Browns didn't blitz.
Right.
They played a lot of man coverage,
yep.
and that seemed to throw him off a little bit. So the Vikings tend to blitz, and then they play a zone behind it. He does better against a zone, and he hasn't really struggled against a blitz. So, but just, obviously you want to hang on to the ball as long as you can, and it's probably harder for him to know how long he has if the left tackle is a turnstile. It just changes everything, blitzing or not.
Yeah, that's the biggest position in football, when it comes to protecting the quarterback.
Move the pocket, baby.
Jalen Moore, I guess, would get the start behind Trent Williams. And so, now your left side, which was your strong suit, that was your strength. Now you're looking at that. You got a hole there. Your right side, has done well, done okay this season, especially run blocking. But good thing is that the Vikings don't have a great defense. It's not like the Vikings are last week the Cleveland Browns. And so that's the one saving grace for San Francisco, I think.
I believe you touched on this. Turnovers, it's a huge factor in the 49ers, the games they win. They tend to win the turnover battle. If they fall behind tonight, if they have if there's a strip sack or something like that early and they fall behind early, I think they could be in real trouble. I don't expect that'll happen, but I think that'd be a really bad sign for them tonight.
For who?
Behind. If the
Vikings have to?
If the Vikings force a strip sack or something, get an early lead there,
right.
Brock has to play from behind with a compromised left tackle. I think that would be a bad situation.
Well, and that's what we saw last week, though, with the Browns. It's like you give a defense confidence, and I know the Browns have an elite defense, especially compared to Minnesota. But if on paper you're better than Minnesota, you don't want to do anything to give this team confidence, anything to make them believe that they can actually win this game. That's why I said earlier, a fast start is so important, I think, tonight for the Niners.
The last time the 49ers faced this coordinator, Brian Flores, he was a coordinator in Miami a couple of years ago. Jimmy G was hurt, tried to come back in that game. That's when he was with Miami, Flores with Miami, and the Dolphins destroyed the 49ers. So it's different circumstances, but if you just look coordinator to coordinator, it was Brian Flores, so I'm sure he'll be trying some of the same things tonight.
And he's from the Bill Belichick coaching tree as well, and so we'll see what he draws up to go against the Niners tonight.
But nothing to worry about if you're a 49er fan. Kyle Shanahan breaks down how Brock Purdy is similar to Kirk Cousins when we come right back. Hopefully an update on Drape's golf pants as well when we come right back. The Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Anxious to get back at it after their first loss of the season, the 49ers are in
Cisco!
With a little razzle-dazzle.
Join Greg Papa and Tim Ryan for every moment of 49ers football.
Sack! Pressure by Nick Bosa!
Niners and Vikings.
15 consecutive games with a touchdown for McCaffrey.
Monday on your new home for San Francisco 49ers football, Sactown Sports.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Your health is important, so keep yourself and your family covered with Medi-Cal. Medi-Cal renewals will be happening soon, so if you have Medi-Cal, make sure you don't miss any important renewal information. If you've moved in the last 3 years, check and update your mailing address, email address, and phone number. Learn more at keepmedicalcoverage.org. That's keepmedicalcoverage.org. Paid for by the California Department of Healthcare Services.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
49ers and the Minnesota Vikings tonight. We've been going back and forth, Kyle and I, and the people on the chat have been going back and forth. I think it just speaks to the fact that right now, if you're a 49er fan, you're feeling a little bit vulnerable. And everything was going so well, and all of the issues that had raised their ugly heads during the preseason seemed to go away. And now some of them, injuries, kicker situation, how good is this quarterback? They've started creeping back into the edge of your sports psyche. So
Right.
it's a little bit of an anxious time.
Yeah, everything had been going nice and smooth for the Niners. Then you hit the hiccup in Cleveland, the injuries, like you said, Jake Moody. And the injuries, I guess, to me would be concerning, the most concerning. I think Jake should have a bounce-back game. There's a reason why you drafted him in the third round. But we've seen historically, it's sort of like PTSD, when the Niners get banged up, it's like, here we go again,
Sure.
And that was the whole thing we were talking about the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season. Looking great, but don't get injured. And now they're dealing with it right now.
Don't you think that Kirk Cousins has to feel some PTSD every time he realizes it's Monday Night Football? Yeah, he's 2-10. 2-10 on Monday nights.
Let me. Do you have his
Kyle.
numbers there though? Do you have his actual numbers? Because I don't get into the record as much. Like how many times was he favored versus the underdog? That plays into it.
I want winners, so I don't care about what was his completion percentage over average or wherever you're going here.
I'm just saying.
I don't have anything out of that. I happen to see it on ESPN.
Oh, yeah. See, but here's the thing. It's sort of like LeBron James, his finals record. Oh, man, he's lost 6
Did you just
NBA
compare
finals.
Kirk Cousins to LeBron James?
I'm saying the narrative that in the big games, in the big situations, they don't come through. Well, if your team wasn't favored, you lost to better teams. There's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. Like, that's not a knock. And so that's why I was going to ask, now is Kirk Cousins, his completion percent, 55%? Does he have 6 touchdowns and 10 turnovers or something like that? It's more than just win-loss, Whitey. You can't just, come up with this narrative about, and so
it's a fact. I didn't come up with a narrative.
The Vikings are 7-11 straight up. 9-9 against the spread in primetime regular season games. So he's an average quarterback in primetime against the spread.
Primetime games, well, I got some numbers I got to save them for the Factor Fantasy Showdown, but
they're
not flattering for your boy. I'll just say that.
All of a sudden, he's my boy.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
Because I do have him on my fantasy team. So I'm looking.
Okay.
There's a reason why I'm hoping he goes for like 350
He's
yards.
a pretty good
and 5
QB for your fantasy
Yeah, he's
team, right?
actually pretty good. 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, I think it is at last check. And so he's 7-10 straight up, 9-8 in primetime Vikings games.
He is 35 now, Kirk Cousins, 4-time Pro Bowl quarterback. Leads the NFL 14 touchdown passes, 4th among active quarterbacks in career passing yards and touchdowns. He's got 266 career touchdowns. And it's interesting because we've talked about it. Everybody's talking about it. Kyle Shanahan has always liked Kirk Cousins. He used to have him. And a lot of people felt like Kyle was just buying time until he could get Kirk Cousins. Why didn't they draft Mahomes? Because he thought he was going to get Kirk Cousins as a free agent. They ended up getting Jimmy G. It hasn't worked out. But Kyle Shanahan Saturday talked about the way that Kirk Cousins and Brock Purdy are similar. He says they see the game clearly. They deliver the ball accurately. Everyone knows coverages and where it's supposed to go, but sometimes when you get in the heat of battle and in that pocket, it's not always that way. This is Shanahan. Sometimes it looks like there's 100 guys out there. Sometimes you can't see it as clean. Most of the time you can is when you're sitting in your chair with a remote. But he says Kirk can do that. He can sort it out, knows where to go. And when asked how Purdy stacks up to Cousins in that area, Shanahan said, extremely similar. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what he loves about Brock Purdy, and that's what he loves most of all about Kirk Cousins, whom he's always coveted.
I think when you look at Kirk Cousins, the talent has always been there, right? Like, I don't think anybody questions the talent. I think, the biggest question has been, how does he perform in big games? I mean, what were they last season? 13-4, I think. And so he's always been good, but not good enough, And so We'll see with Brock Purdy how he trends. Brock Purdy, 10 TDs, 1 interceptions. But I think that's a good comparison. People say, oh, he's like Kirk Cousins. People view that as a negative. Kirk Cousins is a pretty good quarterback. I would probably put him a top 15 quarterback in the NFL right now.
Where'd you put Brock Purdy?
He's top 15. Brock
He's
Purdy.
in there too.
Right now, Brock Purdy's playing like a top 10 quarterback. There's a difference between, like, Josh Allen is not playing like a top 10 quarterback, but is he a top 10 quarterback? Of course he is, And so there's a difference. It's semantics. It's all about words.
Shanahan said it means when there's something prepared for, something you've talked about. Hey, they run this coverage. We're doing this play for that coverage. When it's something like that and he gets to look at something he's prepared for, he's going to see it every time, and he's going to make the throw. So those are the types of things that Shanahan, in his mind, that's what my quarterback has to do.
That's what he wants, right?
Yeah.
And that's what Jimmy G couldn't do for him.
Sometimes he did, and other times, like, what was that?
Right, exactly. And so I think, and we've talked about this before on our show, Kyle Shanahan, for lack of a better phrase, sort of a control freak, like he wants things done his way. And I think that's the thing that's so great about Brock Purdy in this system and why this marriage between him and Shanahan works so well. Brock Purdy isn't going to deviate. He's not going to throw you any curveballs or go off the reservation and, do his own thing or anything like that. He's going to follow the game plan, make the throws that are there. And so he's not as volatile, It's sort of like, when you're planning for retirement, your financial planner always asks you, what age do you want to retire? Brock Purdy is like 55 years old. Like, he's nearing in retirement in terms of, the argument I'm making now. So you want a less volatile kind of portfolio. You want, you know what I mean?
A less volatile stock.
Exactly. Now, if you're 20 and just out of college, you're okay with some hits or misses, but not in the NFL. Kyle Shanahan wants known commodities. He wants to go in and week out and know Brock Purdy is going to make the throws, won't hurt us, won't turn the ball over, and make the throws to help us.
Somebody's been talking to their Schwab representative.
Yeah, I got to call him Schwab. I'm an Edward Jones man. I'm an Edward Jones.
Sure. You know why? The number one reason I think people belittle Purdy or criticize him, and I'm not talking about you now. I think there's some of this in there, but I'm not coming after you.
Okay.
He doesn't have the strongest arm. He's never going to have the strongest arm. Even the scouts that love him point out that you watch him sometimes, he's got to give it that little extra crow hop because he's just not the guy with a rocket arm. And I think for some of us, and I think for some scouts, it's like, well, if you don't have that cannon, I can never consider you an elite quarterback. So I think that's the whole issue with Purdy in the minds of some.
Yeah,
he's never going to be that guy.
Yeah, I think so. And, I think it has more to do with, he's a product of the system and the weapons around him. And so even if he did have a cannon, he came from, being the last pick in the draft, unheard of. Nobody knew him. And all of a sudden, he's this fairy tale story. And so I think people, including me at times, look for reasons to doubt him, reasons not to believe what we're actually seeing from him. And so I do maintain if you put Brock Purdy on a different team, he doesn't, and that's no fault of his. Because I go back to Kawhi Leonard. If Kawhi doesn't go to the Spurs, he doesn't become Kawhi Leonard, in my opinion. Same thing with Brock Purdy. He just happened to take advantage of his situation and went to a perfect situation for him.
I understand that there's a lot of truth to that. I would argue that I still think a lot of the things that he does well are things that are going to help any system he's in. But we'll never know.
Right.
We'll never know. Every player in every sport, especially quarterbacks, they fit their system to a degree. That's why teams go out and get them in the first place. All that said, and it's all reasonable, and we'll be looking at it tonight and talking about it for weeks to come. I think tonight is really a big night for the 49ers defensively. The defense this year has underperformed a little bit. The defense last week, they got the ball not down their throat so much as around the edge. They're not supposed to do that. And this team is built on, like I said earlier, it's old school. We stop the run, we run the ball. They couldn't stop the run. Now, the Vikings are not, I think you pointed out, they're not a great running team.
30th in rushing.
But the 49ers have to contain that. They've been working all week in practice on containing the edge. That's something to watch for early. They absolutely have to put a stop to that.
Yeah, and I think that, what you saw last week was, P.J. Walker didn't have to make plays. And so if you're the Niners tonight, you want to force Kirk Cousins to make plays. If they're getting, 4 or 5 yards, 5 yards on first down, getting in second and short, then the whole playbook opens up for Kirk Cousins. And so I want to see, if I'm the Niners, I want to see Kirk Cousins having to throw it 40 times tonight to try and win the game, not necessarily hand the ball off a lot.
By the way, before we take a quick time out here, you mentioned P.J. Walker. I don't have any idea what's going on with the Browns at the quarterback situation. Do you? Deshaun played yesterday. Then he
got hurt again, right?
And they took him out, and apparently he'd been cleared to go back in, and the coach said, no, I decided to leave him out. But he's still our quarterback. And I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on, and I'm looking at P.J. Walker. They scored 39 points yesterday. His rating was 51.3. He had 15 of 32, so he had a sub 50%.
I know they had at least one defensive touchdown.
Yeah, sub 50% completion percentage, and yet they still won the game. And so you're right. And Deshaun Watson, I know he only played a handful of snaps, 1 for 5 yards, 1 interception.
I think it was Orlovsky today. He said he thinks the Browns should try to trade for Kirk Cousins.
I see the fit.
Yeah.
But you got all that money tied up in Deshaun, too.
I know.
It doesn't make sense, right?
Doesn't. When we come back, is McCaffrey, is he the most important 49er? We may find out tonight. We'll kick it around next year. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We've got a bright and breezy day ahead. Temperatures expected to peak in the upper 70s with plenty of sunshine, and that north wind expected about 10 to 15 for the afternoon. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
It's the model year-end sales event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Klein tools are new at Lowe's, pros. Lowe's knows you want top brands and quality products, and Klein Tools delivers. Right now, get the Klein 3-piece ModBox mobile workstation for $319.94 and the Klein 5-piece cushion grip screwdriver set for just $34.97, both exclusively at Lowe's. Shop the largest selection of Klein tools, the highest quality tool brand at Lowe's. Because Lowe's knows tools, Lowe's knows pros.
The City of Sacramento offers grass conversion rebates to help you replace your thirsty lawn with a naturally water-efficient landscape. Whether you own a home or business in Sacramento, you may be eligible. Learn more at sacwaterwise.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is an entertainment experience like no other. We're the only place where you can play blackjack, then hop on an indoor card track. We're the only place with more than 2,000 of the hottest slots and a state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and a resort hotel to stay after you play. Is it any wonder we've been voted best over 100 times? We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
It's time now for the Silver and Black Report, brought to you by ACR Home Services. For all your roofing and solar needs, visit acrhomeservices.com. In a battle of backup quarterbacks, Chicago performed much better. All the momentum of the 2 straight home wins was wasted with a brutal performance at Soldier Field. Vegas coach Josh McDaniels, quote, "We didn't do anything well enough to deserve to win." He's right, and now they're 3-4. That's your Silver and Black Report, brought to you by ACR Home Services. Let ACR Home Services be your one-stop shop for all your home needs, starting with unbeatable roofing services. Right now, get a new roof and receive $1,000 off that roof. So sign up today and save with no payment for up to 12 months. And ACR is more than just a roofing company. Whether it's roofing, solar, electrical work, you name it, when you choose ACR Home Services, you're not just getting a contractor, you're partnering with a team that's invested in your satisfaction. That's ACR Home Services.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. Happy Monday. I'm Simone, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. Truly so much to get to today as we lock in for Monday Night Football and postseason baseball. San Francisco 49ers looking to get back in the win column as they drop in on the Minnesota Vikings tonight. We know the 49ers will be without left tackle Trent Williams and wide receiver Deebo Samuel, but will get that incomparable CMC work in the backfield to close out Week 7.
Pressure throws to the back of the end zone. Caught by Christian McCaffrey. Touchdown! CMC!
Our pregame festivities jump off at 4:15 today, right after the Drive Guys, with kickoff going up at 5:15. And Game 6 of the NLCS underway. Diamondbacks strike first. They're up 3-1 over the Phillies, bottom of the 4th. And it all comes down to Game 7 for the Texas foes. Rangers and Astros meet in Houston at 5:07, with the victor going on to the World Series. I'm Simone. Those are your headlines. Let's get back to more Drive Guys.
Your new home for 49ers football in the 916 Sactown Sports.
49ers in Minnesota tonight, Minneapolis, and I'm just seeing here on one of our mini monitors exterior shots of the stadium there. Do you remember the problem they had with that stadium when they first built it?
No.
Apparently there are a lot of windows on one side, just a ton of windows, and birds just kept.
No way.
I mean, a lot.
Oh,
to
man.
the point where
I
it
don't
wasn't
remember
just,
that.
poor birds when they're, they had a whole bunch of birds just
smacking
the
a
side of
window.
that sucker.
How'd they fix that?
I'm not sure they did. If they just said, I don't know.
A lot less geese up there.
Maybe they put a warning up there, beware geese. I don't know. I'm not sure whether it's a problem or not. Here's a question here, pardon me, on the YouTube chat from Compio. Thanks for everybody participating today. People got a little testy today, a little bit.
Yeah, people fired up today. I'm not the only one.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be that kind of week. Compio asking, your boy Compio, Draper, what type of golf game do you have? Scratch? +10? +15? What's your handicap?
He really asked that?
Yes.
Dude, nobody, I don't kiss and tell my handicap. I don't, I know, right? Keep going up, Capio. Let me check. I think I'm like an 18 or 19 lately, but that's not even, my golf game is not indicative of the handicap. You know, like seriously.
What has nothing to do with you?
One day I'm solid, the next day, and so, you know, I can shoot an 88 or I could shoot 100. Like I'm all over the place.
That's like Trent Williams. Did you hear the story? He took up golf over the summer, apparently.
No.
And he's not very good, but he said one day, it was in the 80s, he shot at 80-something, like at 82, and he said, but I was the only one there. And but I told all my friends, and they didn't believe me. And then the next time we went out, and I was terrible again.
I'm a firm believer.
I'm not saying that's what I think of your 88.
No. I'm a firm believer. There are certain guys I can't play with. I'll always play bad with them. I'm a firm believer in, depending on your company, the company you keep on the golf, that impacts your score. if I'm playing with, not to name names, Kenny Thomas, I struggle. When I play, with neighborhood guys or something, or people I don't know, I'm solid.
Really?
Yeah. It's mental, man.
What does Kenny Thomas do? How does he get inside your dome? I need to ask him.
No, we don't talk trash or anything. I don't know. I just never played. No, maybe he's an athlete, former NBA player. Maybe I want to smack it as hard as he does, hit it 300 or something, and maybe I swing faster. Golf is such a mental. I'm telling you, I'm about to go visit a sports psychologist because it's so bad. It's so bad.
Mm-hmm. By the way, you mentioned Antelope Greens. I actually one time outdrove a PGA Tour pro at Antelope Greens, but there's extenuating circumstances.
All right, here we go.
I was playing with my friend David Sutherland.
Yep.
He was recuperating from wrist surgery. He was playing left-handed with one hand. And I barely outdrove him on what was the, like you said, there's only a couple of long holes there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the first one where you can actually use
the driver.
And I outdrove him by 5 yards, and he was left hand, one-handed, and I barely
got him.
Yeah.
That reminds me of that golf tournament I played in last week. There was a long drive guy there, and he's like, if you guys beat me on this hole, like if you outdrive me, you can get a 1 on this hole. I'm like, well, we're not going to do that. He said, I will tee it up and I will swing on my knees. So he got down on his knees, Whitey, and he hit it from his knees, 275, 280.
Did he just get regular distance?
Yeah, regular distance. Yeah.
On the tee, or did he choke down?
Okay. And he just smacked it and went right in the middle, 275 yards. I'm like, life ain't fair, man. It's not fair.
Nobody got him?
But we actually beat him because I had a long drive guy on my team too. So we did beat him. We did blast it past him. But it was crazy. 275 from your knees. That's unheard of.
Take that, I think.
Yeah.
Take that.
Right.
Christian McCaffrey has scored a touchdown in 15 straight games. The record is 17 straight games, set in 1963-64 by a guy named Lenny Moore, who I believe was a great Colt, Baltimore Colt. So Christian McCaffrey's on the threshold of history, but he's playing tonight with a strained oblique. Is he the single most important 49er? And I remember we were kicking this around weeks ago, and I'll never forget it because I think it was I think Gary Sharp was here, and you were here, as I remember. And I remember you saying you thought Trent Williams was the most important 49er, and we may find out which one's more important tonight.
Yeah. I don't know if I think I've said CMC. I thought CMC was the most important 49er because when you look at the turnaround he's made, there's nobody on the team that can do what he does. Sure, you could throw Debo back there, but then that takes away from your passing game as well, and that's a lot of work for Debo. I think CMC is the engine that drives everything for this Niners team. You talked about them wanting to be a running team. Well, you have that in CMC. The guy can catch the ball as well, and so I think he's the most important player because when you look at the positions, and Trent might be that, though. We'll find out without Trent Williams tonight.
When we talked about it, was the season hadn't started yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bosa hadn't even, I think I said Bosa, and Bosa hadn't even signed. And right now, it doesn't look like it's Bosa.
It doesn't look like it's Bosa. And, I don't think it's Brock Purdy just because, as great as he's been, I don't know how much of a drop-off it is from Brock to Sam Darnold. I would like to see Sam Darnold in this offense. I think he could still do pretty well. I just think Christian McCaffrey, in terms of game planning, he alters everything, and he's going to play tonight. But, man, I think, when you look at the Niners' turnaround, the run they went on last season, this season, it all correlated with the trade and acquisition of Christian McCaffrey.
They're almost like a basketball team that runs their offense through a center or forward, and he's the center forward. So
yes.
Most teams go through the point guard, the quarterback. The quarterback's vitally important, but everything offensively is based on what Christian McCaffrey does.
Well, let's look at our Sacramento Kings,
Exactly.
right? We run through Domantas Sabonis. You take Domas out, the offense looks entirely different. CMC gets hurt last week. I know Debo got hurt as well. Brock Purdy doesn't look as great. De'Aaron Fox, is allowed to play off the ball now and focus on, getting his buckets and coming up big. Brock Purdy now doesn't have to carry. He doesn't have to throw for 300 yards for this team to get a win. And I think a big reason why is because the ground game is so good by CMC. And so he's the most important to me.
I think Ayuk and Kittle need to have big nights, but it's possible, especially if they're having protection problems. Kittle, they won't have the luxury of sending him out on a lot of routes.
Yeah, there's two ways of looking at that, right? Do you keep the extra, the tight end for extra blocking because of the blitz?
And because he's very good at it.
And he is good at it? Or will he have some holes out there? Will he be able to be, the quick passing game? Will that be open with him? And so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how Kyle Shanahan plays this, because all the blitzing that the Vikings do you take some shots down the field? Do you have Ayuk in one-on-one coverage down the field and look for him? Kittle underneath as well. And so this might be one of those games where, and I said it, I feel like Brock Purdy is going to have to win the game. He's going to have to make the throws, and whether that's downfield to Ayuk or to Kittle or whoever, because I'm not expecting a whole lot tonight from CMC. I could be wrong. Trust me, I'm not Kyle Shanahan. I'm no NFL expert. But when I look at a banged-up running back with an oblique injury, are we really give him the ball 20 to 25 times tonight?
Yeah, he'll be all shot up, hopped up on Toradol or whatever. I think you hit the nail on the head when you said Brock Purdy to Ayuk. Last week, did you see these numbers? Ayuk was targeted 10 times last week. 4 completions.
Wow.
And a lot of different reasons for that. Aaron throws,
Couple
he didn't
drops.
hang on, good
Yeah.
defense, but 10 targets, 4 catches. That's terrible. And so there's a lot of opportunities that were missed in that game, and so they have to take advantage of those.
And whether,
opportunities tonight.
how much was weather a factor
Yes,
last?
a lot
That
of
won't be a
factors.
factor tonight, obviously. And so, no, it's. I think this has to be a bounce back game for Brock Purdy and Brandon Ayuk. See them get going tonight.
I think it's got to be a bounce back effort for you in the Factor Fantasy Showdown. You agree with that?
Do we still got Simone as judge? Let me look. Dang it. Darn it. Chalk it up to another L. Another L.
Yeah, so you don't understand how it works with these judges.
I need to change a venue or something like that. Seriously.
49ers in grave danger of being upset tonight. In Drive Guys Factor Fantasy next. Sactown Sports.
Anxious to get back at it after their first loss of the season, the 49ers are in Minnesota on Monday night.
San Francisco! With a little razzle-dazzle.
Join Greg Papa and Tim Ryan for every moment of 49ers football.
Sack! Pressure by Nick Bosa.
Niners and Vikings.
15 consecutive games with a touchdown for McCaffrey.
Monday on your new home for San Francisco 49ers football, Sactown Sports.
Igor, my faithful companion, it is time to prepare for the night. The shadows grow long, and the creatures of the night stir with excitement.
Yes, Master Dracula. What do you require of me?
I need you to fire up the hearse. Elk Grove Kia is having a Halloween sale that is to die for. We're going to upgrade to a new car worthy of the Prince of Darkness. I'm so excited. It is making my blood shiver.
But Master, with your credit history, aren't you worried you're going to get turned down?
Igor, shut up. Elk Grove Kia's finance department has over 100 years of experience. They can even get me approved, even with my troubled past. And Elk Grove Kia's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on all new Kias, it's almost like having an immortal car.
Elk Grove Kia's Halloween sale is so good, it's scaring the competition. In fact, it's so scary, we can't even advertise the pricing. So whether you're in need of a new or used car, make your way to Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or visit us at elkgrovekia.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Get wings the way you want them. Try Twin Peaks wings bone-in breaded, naked, smoked and grilled, or boneless in your favorite sauce or rub.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles, drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet Arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa.
actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. Makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Knee, hip, foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own loan report.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Live and local.
Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Heading for a showdown. Welcome to the fact or fantasy portion of the program. All rise. It's Kyle Draper and I going head to head on today's hottest topics. We do have an update that we must get to before the testimony begins. But right now we welcome, as we all rise and welcome into the chambers, the Honorable Judge Simone. Hello, Your Honor.
Thank you, gentlemen. You may be seated.
Thank you.
May we, Your Honor, just quickly before we begin with the proceedings here, continue with the proceedings, offer a sports update.
Please.
Yes. Kyle, what do you got on?
Oh, you want me to deliver it?
Yeah.
All right. Woj is, I believe, the first one to report this. Giannis has agreed on a 3-year, $186 million contract extension to stay in Milwaukee. Giannis put a tweet out that says Milwaukee with a whole bunch of E's. Let's get it. Hashtag Bucks and 6. Hashtag extended. So
the trade worked.
The trade worked,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
They needed to do that, according to all the reports out there, to keep Giannis happy. And now you got Giannis and Dame locked up for the next 4 seasons, I do believe.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Of course. Let's go ahead and start these proceedings.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
The Factor Fantasy Showdown for our Monday. The Eagles proved with their win last night that they are the NFL's best team right now. Is that a fact or fantasy? Let's go ahead with Whitey to start.
Your Honor, that is a fantasy. The notion that the Eagles proved they're the best team in the NFL last night, that's as cracked as the Liberty Bell itself, if I may. If the Eagles proved anything last night, it's that they, with a lot of help from the officials, are capable of, at home, beating an injury-compromised Miami Dolphin team. We won't know. They're not the best team in the NFL right now. Kansas City is. Are the Eagles the best team in the NFC? They may be, but we won't know that until they play the 49ers December the 3rd. So until then, Eagles fans, cool your jets.
And the plaintiff, please. Drapes.
That is 100% fact. And here's why. That's the fact, Jack. And here's why. The Eagles have shown that they can win in a multitude of ways. Miami Dolphins, one of the highest powered offenses in the entire NFL. an MVP candidate in Tua, an MVP candidate in Tyreek Hill. And what did the Eagles defense do it? Hold them to just 10 points. That Miami Dolphins offense only scored 10 points. And so the Eagles, they can beat you in a low-scoring game because they have a great defense, and they can beat you in a high-scoring game because they have a great offense. And I will add this. Everybody had the Miami Dolphins as a top 5 team in the NFL, and the Eagles just beat up on them badly. That game wasn't even as close, in my opinion, as the final score, Your Honor.
Wow. As always, powerful disposition from both parties. I'm going to have to go with Whitey. I love the bell element, and beating up on a mangled Dolphins team does not make you the best, strongest, fastest team in the NFL right now.
I'm about to get kicked out of the courtroom. I'm so upset right now, Your Honor. I'm so upset right now. Like, after what happened last week, Your Honor? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. What else you got?
Go ahead and do. With key players out or playing injured tonight, the 49ers, are they in danger of a potential upset by the Vikings? Is that a fact or fantasy, Drapes?
That is 100% fact, Your Honor.
That's the fact, yeah!
When you look at the 49ers season so far, their only loss came when they had guys injured. Debo went out, CMC went out, Trent Williams got banged up. What's tonight looking like? No Trent Williams, no Debo, and a banged up CMC. And so, Your Honor, anybody who will tell you that the Niners aren't in danger of losing tonight aren't looking at recent history. We just saw last week what a banged up Niners team looks like, and it's not pretty. And as you know, Your Honor, it's tough to win an NFL road game. The Niners are in trouble tonight.
Whitey.
Let's see here. Make sure I have the question right. With key players out or playing injured tonight, 49ers are in danger of being upset by the Vikings. That's a fantasy! I would like to enter into evidence Exhibit A here, Your Honor, if I may. The following numbers. Primetime games. Brock Purdy's record in primetime games. 3 wins, 0 losses. Passer rating 126.6. 8 touchdowns, no interceptions. Kirk Cousins, primetime games, 11 wins, 19 losses. 56 touchdowns, 27 interceptions. I'd also like to enter into evidence Exhibit B. George Kittle's primetime game career numbers, 21 games, 15 touchdowns in 21 career games. Your Honor, primetime is Purdy time, and the 49ers have nothing to worry about this evening.
Wow. Great admissible evidence presented by both parties. I'm going to have to go with Drapes on this one. I do think the faithful, this isn't a lock and turn into what am I trying to say? Turnkey game for the 49ers. And I do think that this could be a little bit of a sticky situation going into Monday Night Football.
Okay.
Thank you.
For the final question for the win today, I believe.
We're all even, huh?
In danger, or excuse me, was the player of the day yesterday in the NFL, was that Lamar Jackson and his performance? Is that a fact or a fantasy, Whitey?
That's a fantasy, Your Honor. Not easy to say that. Lamar Jackson was brilliant yesterday, but on the other hand, he's being paid a lot of money to be brilliant. All credit to him. But he did what the Ravens asked him to do, what they expect him to do. He had a great game, no question. But the story of the day yesterday was actually in, as I call it, the Windy City, Chicago. The Las Vegas Raiders were visiting the Bears. The Bears quarterback would have been Justin Fields, but he was hurt. So the Bears quarterback yesterday was a guy by the name of Tyson Bagent. Last year, you probably, Your Honor, you may have wondered, I've never heard of him. He was quarterbacking last year, Division II Shepherd's College. He was the first Division II guy to make an NFL start yesterday against the Raiders. That alone is an incredible story, but he won the game. And afterwards, Tyson Bagent said, don't let anybody's opinion keep you from pursuing your dreams. He wasn't just the player of the day yesterday in the NFL, Your Honor. That's the stuff of fairy tales, legends, and dreams.
Wow. And Drapes, please.
It is a 100% fact that Lamar Jackson was the player of the day in the NFL.
That's the fact. back.
And Whitey, excuse me, my counterpart here.
Yes.
Those are all great numbers. That's great stuff. You did your research. But let me show you this, Your Honor.
Any numbers? Yeah.
Your Honor. Against Kansas City, the Detroit Lions defense held Patrick Mahomes to 21 points. Against Seattle had a great game, obviously. Against Atlanta, 6 points. Against Green Bay, 20 points. Against Carolina, 24 points. Against Tampa Bay, 6 points. What I'm saying here is the Ravens had their way. They were up 36-0, if I'm correct. 38-0, maybe. Lamar Jackson, 357 yards, 3 touchdowns passing, 77.8% completion percentage against one of the more difficult defenses in the entire NFL. And mind you, Your Honor, Lamar Jackson probably had the most pressure out of anybody in the NFL this past week. A lot of people are saying he got the new contract, but is he really the franchise quarterback? He had struggled at times this season. Lamar Jackson put on a clinic on how to be an NFL quarterback yesterday, and he did it against the vaunted Detroit Lions defense.
Wow. I do know we are up against it, so I'm going to have to select my winner here swiftly and with a stern hand. And the winner of the showdown today for Factor Fantasy is going to go ahead and be Drapes.
Yeah! I got you, Your Honor, after this.
Burden of truth for you.
The check's in the mail.
Yeah. The crown of superiority.
Wow. It's glorious.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Oh, no, let's cut his mic.
Oh, no.
You see what you've created,
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Your Honor. Congratulations, Drapes. Well played. Yeah. Boy, I was feeling very confident.
No, you had those were some good arguments.
Yeah,
man.
you just never know when you're in court. You okay with that?
No, this had. I think it's made for people with hair.
Yeah,
like
I don't know. You have it right side. Yeah.
Do I got it right?
Yeah,
I got it right. Come on,
looking good.
Call me Bronco Nagurski over here, baby.
When we come back, why do teams continue to blitz Brock Purdy? That's next year. Congratulations, Drapes. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with 0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall. Your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
0 down with approved credit.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money. with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa"?
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist. Ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, you. The one on the couch who just told your friend you can't go out because you're busy? Ready to get real about your psoriasis? When your current treatments don't do enough to help control the inflammation beneath the skin, causing plaques and pain, stressing and scratching, it's time to stop hiding and get real with your dermatologist so they can help you get clear. Get real clear about psoriasis at letsgetrealclear.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing.
But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Born in 1892 to a socially prominent family, she was the consummate athlete, proficient in golf, tennis, marksmanship, swimming, and car racing. Many considered her the greatest horsewoman of the century. She was a pioneer in the field of golf course development with 3 world-class courses on her resume: the Women's National Golf and Tennis Club, Cypress Point, and Pasatiempo. Working for SFB Morse of Pebble Beach fame led to her second golf course development, which many consider to be the greatest golf course in the world, Cypress Point, where she developed a lifelong friendship and professional relationship with famed architect Alistair McKenzie. Pasatiempo in Santa Cruz was her third development, where she hosted the likes of Bobby Jones, Will Rogers, Babe Saharias, and more. Today, her place is alongside many others in the World Golf Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Marion Hollins, a visionary golf course architect and pioneer of the game. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Cooler temperatures mean it's time to reduce your outdoor water use. Water 1 day per week on Saturday or Sunday from November 1st through February 29th. Learn more about your home's watering schedule at sacwaterwise.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Happy Monday, I'm Simone, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. Truly so much to get to today as we lock in for Monday Night Football and postseason baseball. San Francisco 49ers looking to get back in the win column as they drop in on the Minnesota Vikings tonight. We know the 49ers will be without left tackle Trent Williams and wide receiver Deebo Samuel, but will get that incomparable CMC work in the backfield to close out Week 7.
Pressure throws to the back of the end zone. Caught by Christian McCaffrey. Touchdown! CMC!
Our pregame festivities jump off at 4:15 today, right after the Drive Guys, with kickoff going up at 5:15. And Game 6 of the NLCS is underway. Diamondbacks strike first. They're up 4-1 over the Phillies, bottom of the 5th. And it all comes down to Game 7 for the Texas foes. Rangers and Astros meet in Houston at 5:07 with the victor heading to the World Series. I'm Simone. Those are your headlines. Let's get you back to more Drive Guys.
Your new home for 49ers football in the 916. Sactown Sports.
Yeah, get ready for 49er football. I said earlier we're with you till 4:30. That was wishful thinking. This is our last segment.
Man.
We just saw Brock Purdy a few moments ago on the field. Hey, he looks ready. He's got that gun firing. He's ready to go. He got that look in his eye.
Dude, look like a paper boy that just happens to be on a football field.
Paper boy that delivers every paper on time.
Look like Dennis the Menace, one of his friends or something like that. Or Wally and the Beaver. Remember Leave It to Beaver?
Sure.
Look like he Brock Purdy does not strike fear in anyone. I'm sorry.
One time I was delivering papers in Vallejo, and I used to, pride myself. And I'll see if I could hit the target. There's this big old dog on the screen door. So I throw the paper, and it actually hits the door handle and opens the door.
Oh, no. He came out?
Yeah.
No way. That's what you get. That's what you get.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens tonight. Obviously, very confident that tomorrow Mr. Draper will be maybe eating a little crow. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? It's good for business if the Niners win. I'll tell you that.
It is.
It is good for business. And I just want to see a good
NFL too.
Ultimately, Whitey, I'm going to take you behind the curtains and tell you all you need to know about me. I just want to see a good football game. I don't want to see a blowout. I hate blowouts. So the 31-17 or whatever, 31-21, long as it's a competitive game,
I'm with you.
Into the fourth quarter, interesting. I'm all for it. Niners win, good for them. I'll see you December 3rd. But I just want a good football game.
Why do you think teams continue to blitz Brock Purdy? Purdy has faced the blitz on 45.1% of dropbacks.
Really?
Highest
That's
in the
high.
league. Highest in the league. I think a lot of that may be skewed by the fact that the Giants blitzed them more than 80%
times.
of the time.
Yeah. I just think, they look at a young quarterback. If he's comfortable back there, that's when you have trouble. It's sort of like, when Tom Brady was playing for New England, you never wanted to blitz him. Like Tom Brady would pick you apart, but he was a sage, savvy veteran that had seen all the coverages in the world, was cool under pressure. And I think with Brock Purdy, teams are like, maybe they don't believe in him as much. You get him a rattle, get a little pressure in his face, force him. To his credit, though, he's done a hell of a job. But like you said, the Vikings, they blitz more than anybody. I mean, they bring their safeties up. Their safety, they sort of converted to a de facto linebacker, and I think he's rushed 45% of the times. And so we'll see a lot of that tonight. I'm not sure if that's the game plan, though. If I'm Minnesota, I saw what Cleveland did, especially, Whitey, when the Niners are banged up, no Deebo Samuel. And so to me, just play your, man-to-man coverage. You should be able to, lock these guys down.
What's really interesting to me is the fact that Brock Purdy is going to probably face a lot of blitzing. And I saw some numbers today. Maybe you saw him in The Athletic. He's a tiny bit less effective against the blitz than not, but it's marginal.
Okay.
But the thing is, as we said earlier, and if you saw the game last week, Cleveland didn't blitz and Brock Purdy had his worst game. So what's the approach for the Vikings tonight? Who knows? Maybe they mix it up. Cool thing to me about the zone blitz, and the Vikings run a lot of zone blitz. If you're basically running a man-to-man coverage beyond a blitz, if you're the quarterback, okay, wherever the blitzer comes, there's nobody there.
Right, it's open there. Yeah.
But the cool thing about the zone blitz is they play zone, so they'll slide someone in there.
Like
and the
an amoeba
kind of, hot read. Whoops.
It's not there anymore. Right.
There's somebody there. So it'll be interesting to see how Brock Purdy responds to that. And then, any team, you hope that you don't have to blitz. If you can get there anyway, which the Vikings may be able to, if Trent Williams isn't playing, they may not have to blitz as much.
Yeah, they may not have to. But this Vikings defensive line, I don't think it's a great defensive line. It's not like what we saw last week.
Chris Dolman coming through
Chris
the door.
Dolman. Carl, you're going back. Oh, my gosh, you're going back. I remember those days. I used to work in Minnesota.
Oh,
man,
did you?
Yeah, I did. I went to college in Minnesota, actually, and those were the days, man. Randall Cunningham was the quarterback back then.
Randy
Moss. Who was the other quarterback? Jeff, quarterback the Raiders also. Oh, my God.
Not Jeff Hostetler.
No, not Hostetler. Oh, my gosh. I'm going to look it up here in a minute. But yeah.
Rich Gannon? No.
Nah, Rich Gannon was there, but it was, he had a cannon. Also quarterback the Falcons, too, I believe. Oh, shoot, man.
I'm sorry.
That's a trivia, dude. We got to look this up. I'm going to look it up real quick. But no, it's, if you're Brock Purdy, I said it earlier.
Jeff George.
Jeff George. There you go. Somebody said, thank you. Somebody said, Jeff George. He had a cannon, man, back in the day. Unlike Brock Purdy, right? Total opposite, And I do think, when I look at this game and prediction, I don't think it's going to be a ground game for the Niners just because CMC's banged up. I think it's going to have to be a Brock Purdy, Brandon Ayuk, and George Kittle kind of game tonight.
Yeah, obviously they'll try to run the ball. They'll see if they can establish the run. And that's going to be one of the keys, too. Who's going to be able to stop the run tonight? Because the 49ers, I just saw some numbers on ESPN. When you look at the numbers that this defense has posted, they're really impressive. But if you've watched the games, you notice that there are some teams. The Rams had some success with the run a little bit. The Cardinals had some success, and the Browns had a ton of success running the football.
What do you think is the recipe? Because I mentioned it earlier, the Vikings, their strength is not running the football. And so do they all of a sudden, hand it off, to Cam Akers 20 times tonight? Like, what's the Vikings recipe for winning tonight?
I think they'll test the edge where the 49ers were so vulnerable last week and see what's there. Also, last week, and I know one thing sets up the other, but we talked about it, the Browns had a lot of success with screens, tight end screens.
Yeah.
So last week, PJ Walker, you knew that he couldn't throw the ball, right? He wasn't going to, and they still had success. And tonight, one thing about Kirk Cousins, I kid about Kirk Cousins, he can definitely throw the football.
Right, he can throw the football.
Got to get to the quarterback tonight.
And what I'm afraid of, everybody on the YouTube chat, the callers, the texters, have you seen Kirk Cousins' record in, primetime games? I'm telling you, man. Kirk Cousins
entered that as evidence.
But he's a good quarterback. And what you say, 56 touchdowns, 27 interceptions. That's a lot of INTs, but I'm telling you.
Prime time, yeah.
Prime time. I think this guy has an arm, and I think Jordan Addison is going to be key. You got to lock him under control. That's going to be the guy. Like, if the Vikings are going to move the ball, Addison's going to have to be a big part of that.
The 49ers spend a good chunk of their payroll, majority of their payroll on their defensive line. The defense needs to carry the day tonight for all the focus on Brock Purdy. Is he going to bounce back? Moody, can he make kicks? McCaffrey, can he run the ball? Those are all valid questions and important questions. Can Ayuk dominate? But the 49ers tonight, with their offense compromised, they need the defense to be dominant. Those guys are paid to be dominant, and that's what they need tonight to win this game.
No, you're right. And when you look at this Vikings team, it's sort of feast and famine offensively. At Chicago, they only scored 19 last week. Kansas City, 20. Carolina, 21. But before that, 24, 28. And so it's sort of feast or famine. And I'm looking at Kirk Cousins' numbers, 344, 364, 367, 139, 284, 181. So he's feast or famine, which Kirk Cousins is going to show up tonight. And I don't know. It's just going to be a good game, man. I just think the Vikings, no matter what, they always play close games.
They do.
Last year, they were winning those close games. This year, not so much.
Yeah, the 49ers have to put the Vikings in position where Cousins has to throw a lot. And if he throws for 320 and the 49ers win, that's fine.
Right. You're right, because those first three games where he threw over 300, they were 0-3 in all those games.
Yeah. Tall Chinese guy on the chat says Niners dominate non-mobile quarterbacks. Won't be any different tonight. So he's very confident, Kyle Draper.
It's all Chinese guy. He's upset I'm not going to be here tomorrow either.
I'm upset
That's all right.
too.
I might call. I'm out if the Niners win or lose, I'm going to call in when I land. How about that? In Salt Lake City. I'll call in and eat some crow or gloat in the Eagles being the best team in the NFC.
Kyle on his way to Salt Lake City tomorrow. Jerry Reynolds will be in. We'll talk 49ers, and we'll get ready for the start of the NBA season. And then you're back with us Wednesday from Salt Lake City for the Kings Opener.
Yes, can't wait. Light the beam. First time on Wednesday. Let's go.
Monday Night Football is next right here, Sactown Sports.
The 82-game NBA journey begins Wednesday for the Sacramento Kings.
He's got the